For more, I want to bring in Jason Beardsley, an Army Special Forces and Navy veteran, Senior Coalitions Advisor for Concerned Veterans of America, and Director of Veterans Initiatives at Stand Together. Jason, when you see the drive and the determination of these fighters in Ukraine and Richard's story, what goes through your mind?
First and foremost, a huge amount of respect for the countrymen in Ukraine. We're about a year into this, and we've already seen that Russia has essentially strategically and tactically lost this fight. They made a mistake. They thought they could take the capital within 3 days. And we've watched over the last year an endless amount of just ham-fisted attempts by Vladimir Putin's forces to take all of Ukraine. They haven't been successful in that. So that's actually a good news story. The hard part here, though, is frankly, it's going to be very difficult for Ukraine to mount a sustained combat offensive and for them to take back the territory that they've lost in the east. My recommendation, and I think Zelensky had said this, is pushing for peace is the right way out of this, because the other alternative is a lot more war and a lot more death.
I mean, Jason, that said, a bipartisan group of 12 lawmakers are calling on the White House to provide these F-6 fighters to Ukraine. Ukraine's been wanting it. Would that make any difference?
It's not going to make all the difference in the world. I know a lot of people think that is, but it's very important for the pundit class and those backside to understand that it's not material support that wins a war. And if you want proof of that, look at what the United States did. I'm a combat veteran from Iraq. Plenty of our veterans in Afghanistan, we were fully supported. We had full air, armor. We had the entire suite of material, and for 20 years we fought to maintain control of the country. So the point is, we can dump equipment all over Ukraine for the next 10 years, but that does not guarantee a victory. Spirited fighting like this is going to go on for a long time if someone doesn't move this towards an off-ramp.
So, Jason, I sort of get the idea, and correct me if I'm wrong here, what you're saying. The off-ramp could be some negotiation, knowing that it might be very difficult for Ukraine to regain some of this territory that Russia has won. That said, does Putin have an incentive to do that?
Yeah, it's very tough for Putin right now to see that way out. I mean, with talk of the United States accelerating these conditions, it makes it harder. But listen, this is what makes diplomacy the stronger angle for the United States. President Biden has really talked about his relationship with Xi Jinping. Weighing in on China to keep them from accelerating this is going to be a big play in this. And if they do the work that the diplomatic corps is sent to Washington, D.C. to do, they will make ovations over and over again to sort of quell this. Does that mean that Putin wants to end this? Not necessarily, but he's already lost a lot. So he's going to be also looking for the maximalist way he can get out of this, but it's not going to be his entire objective. That was to take, Kyiv. He hasn't been able to do that. I think he's going to walk away at the end of this with Crimea and the Donbass in the east. And the point is, the faster they get there, the less Ukrainians have to be at, in the position they're in now.
Okay, Jason Beardsley, thank you so much for being with us. On a programming note tonight,